1. The Stalker's Web. Amelia had heard success stories about online dating, so she decided to give Bumble a try. She matched with Alex, a seemingly charming and witty guy. Their conversations flowed effortlessly, and before long, they were excitedly planning their first date. The evening arrived, and Amelia was nervous but excited to meet Alex in person. They agreed to meet at a cozy coffee shop downtown. As she walked in, she spotted him sitting at a corner table, engrossed in his phone. She approached him with a smile, but he barely looked up, giving her a curt nod. During their conversation, Amelia noticed that Alex seemed distant and distracted. He frequently checked his phone, barely paying attention to what she was saying. As the date progressed, Amelia felt increasingly uneasy. She decided to cut the evening short, citing an early morning appointment. That's when things took a disturbing turn. Over the next few days, Amelia received a barrage of messages from Alex. At first, they were just apologies for his behavior on the date. But as time went on, the messages became more obsessive and possessive. He seemed to know her schedule, referencing places she had been and people she had met. Amelia grew scared and blocked Alex on the app. However, he began to create new profiles to continue messaging her. He sent gifts to her workplace and even showed up unannounced at her favorite hangout spots. Fearing for her safety, Amelia involved the police and obtained a restraining order against him. The experience left her traumatized and cautious about online dating. 2. Catfished by deceit. Jake had recently moved to a new city for work and decided to use Bumble to meet new people. He matched with Sarah, a stunning woman with a vibrant personality. They chatted for weeks, and Jake felt a deep connection with her. They shared intimate stories and even talked about their future together. One day, Sarah called Jake, her voice shaking. She tearfully revealed that she had been diagnosed with a serious illness and was struggling to afford the medical treatments. Jake's heart went out to her, and he offered his support both emotionally and financially. He sent her money to help with her medical expenses. Months passed, and Jake continued to send money to Sarah. They hadn't met in person due to her health condition, but their bond grew stronger. However, as time went on, Jake began to notice inconsistencies in Sarah's stories. When he tried to video call her, she always had an excuse for why her camera wasn't working. Suspecting something was amiss, Jake decided to investigate further. He reverse image searched her profile pictures and discovered that they were actually stock photos of a model. He confronted Sarah, who eventually confessed that she had been leading a double life and had never been sick. She had fabricated the entire story to exploit Jake's kindness. Heartbroken and betrayed, Jake ended all contact with Sarah. He felt foolish for falling for her lies and was left with a sense of distrust toward online relationships. 3. The Disappearing Act. Lindsay was excited when she matched with Mark on Bumble. They shared similar interests and had engaging conversations that lasted for hours. Mark seemed like a perfect match, attentive, funny, and genuinely interested in getting to know her. They quickly decided to meet in person. Their first date went exceptionally well. Mark was charming, and they laughed throughout the evening. Lindsay was hopeful that she had finally found someone special. They planned a second date, and Lindsay eagerly awaited Mark's messages in the days leading up to it. However, as the second date approached, Mark's messages grew sporadic. He canceled plans last minute, citing work emergencies and family issues. Lindsay felt frustrated, but decided to give him the benefit of the doubt. She reassured herself that life can be unpredictable. But then Mark's messages stopped altogether. He disappeared without a trace, leaving Lindsay confused and hurt. She tried reaching out, but her messages went unanswered. Lindsay couldn't understand why someone who seemed so interested would suddenly vanish. Months later, Lindsay accidentally stumbled upon Mark's Instagram profile, only to find he was now in a new relationship. She realized that he had been stringing her along while pursuing someone else. Lindsay felt humiliated and used. her trust in online dating shattered. 4. The mysterious photographer. Emily was excited about the possibilities of meeting new people on Bumble. She matched with a guy named Ethan, whose profile showcased his passion for photography. Their conversations were filled with discussions about art, travel, and their shared love for adventure. Ethan suggested a unique first date idea, a photo walk around a picturesque park. Emily thought it was a creative and thoughtful plan. When they met, Ethan was carrying his camera, and they set off on their stroll. As they chatted, he took candid shots of her, making her feel like a model in a fashion shoot. The date went well, and Emily enjoyed Ethan's company. They parted with a promise to meet again soon. However, as days turned into weeks, Emily realized that Ethan was evasive about making concrete plans. Whenever she suggested another date, he would enthusiastically agree, but then flake out at the last moment with excuses about work or personal commitments. Emily's frustration grew, and she began to question Ethan's intentions. She noticed that while he claimed to be a photographer, his social media profiles had very few photos, and none of them showcased his supposed talent. Suspicious, Emily decided to dig deeper. She reverse image searched some of his pictures and discovered that they were stock photos from various websites. Realizing that Ethan had been using someone else's photographs to maintain an illusion, Emily confronted him. He confessed to not being a photographer and admitted that he had lied to impress her. Feeling deceived and disappointed, Emily ended all contact with Ethan. Realizing that his dishonesty went beyond his fake photography persona. 5. The two-faced charmer. Greg matched with Lily on Bumble and was immediately taken by her beauty and vibrant personality. Their conversations flowed effortlessly, and they quickly moved from texting to phone calls. Greg felt like he had found his perfect match. They shared personal stories, dreams, and their mutual love for music. Lily invited Greg to a live music event in the city. He eagerly accepted, excited to meet her in person. When they met at the venue, Greg was struck by Lily's charisma and magnetic charm. The evening was a blast, with laughter, dancing, and unforgettable memories. As they continued dating, Greg noticed that Lily had a knack for saying the right things at the right time. She always seemed to know what he wanted to hear, showering him with compliments and affection. However, over time, he began to sense that something was off. Lily's stories about her past seemed inconsistent, and she had a habit of avoiding certain topics. One day, Greg's friend showed him an article about a woman who had scammed several men using fake profiles on dating apps. To his horror, Greg recognized Lily's picture as the woman in the article. She had used different names and fabricated elaborate stories to manipulate and exploit her unsuspecting victims. Devastated and betrayed, Greg confronted Lily, presenting the evidence he had found. She initially denied everything, but when faced with the undeniable proof, she admitted to her deceitful actions. Lily's charming facade crumbled as Greg realized that their entire relationship had been built on lies. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the Dark Tales Unleashed channel for more such content.